Yo, 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 you might be used to me sliding into your DMs, but today I'm sliding into your ear slots to hear my beautiful voice. Chris's one amazing, spectacular rant on what is going to be happening in a few minutes, and Justin's elegant, so slightly but little loud voice. So, boys, how are we doing this week?
Doing pretty good. I just want to let you know, though, that the people that only listen are going to be very confused by your opener.
See, this is my way of telling people that we are not just a listening podcast. If you want to see what really goes on in the world, you have to come watch us.
So we're a TV show too.
Yeah, we're everything. You know, if you wanna get entertained, come by, come hang out. I will fill your ear slots with the most beautiful, delectable voice you ever hear in your entire life. And I came here to fill those with delectable talk on what was the week of football. And I think the only person that can truly tell us what the week of football was like is Chris himself. So, Chris, take it away.
To be honest, I don't even know where to begin. So I'll just start with the obvious, and that is the boys in blue. My Michigan Wolverines went down to that shithole that they call Ohio and absolutely spanked the Buckeyes. I mean, they messed them up so bad that Ryan Day and that entire locker room are taking pregnancy tests right now because they got fucked. And it was glorious.
Good. Okay.
And let me tell you something. This is something that Justin and I have disagreed with over the years, and that is that I think college football is just so much better than the NFL, strictly from an entertainment and excitement standpoint. I'll concede for sure that the elite football is the NFL. Obviously, it's the best of the best, but there is just something about college football that is so special, and this team and this program is why I'm here today talking with you guys about sports. Like, that is why I became obsessed with football.
Is that rivalry right there?
Is that rivalry. And the way this team has been playing lately, this year and last year, like, it has me feeling like a little kid again of like those great Michigan teams that I grew up watching, you know, before we went through our downfall for a while.
Too bad you didn't go there.
It's not like that though.
I know. So that's what's so funny. So we don't disagree. I think we just have different upbringings about it, right? I mean, you're a Lions fan. What the hell you have root for? So why not go blue?
Shit.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just kidding. But
why didn't you go to Michigan? Was it just more scholarships at ASU? Like, what was the reason behind that?
If you didn't know, Chris went to Arizona State University. You can look him up. He graduated with a film degree.
We'll never ever root for them in anything for personal reasons. No, I basically tested my way out of ever going to Michigan my first semester of high school. You got to understand, it is probably the hardest public university to get into in the country. My class president with a 4.0, 30 or 31 on the ACT, played multiple sports, did multiple clubs. His fucking sister was currently at the school in their dentistry school. Got waitlisted to never get in.
Damn.
Isn't that crazy though?
It is so fucking hard. So I literally was walking home one day. I remember this. I was walking home in December or January, my freshman year of high school. And I was like, well, no way I'm getting into Michigan. Looking at my grade total. I was like, that dream's gone right there.
So, Chris, I have a question for you. How does it feel to now have owned Ohio 2 years in a row after maybe losing to them the past 5 years
more?
Oh no,
6
longer.
years?
Last win was in 2011 before last year. But you got to understand with this rivalry,
holy crap,
is it's all about eras of domination. And so if you look at the 80s and the 90s, Ohio State couldn't beat Michigan. And there's years, sorry, I'm still coming out of this cough, but there's years where it goes back and forth. But to be honest with you, it's a lot of just eras of domination. And I think what you're seeing right now is a turning point in another chapter where it's now Michigan's turn to be in the driver's seat for a while.
Yeah, and you just see, I wonder where CJ Stroud's going to go. I wonder how high he's going to go on the NFL charts. Like, it didn't look that good.
Dropped.
Yeah.
He dropped for sure. Some people said he dropped out of the first round. I don't know about that, but he definitely dropped.
But how many teams need a quarterback right now? You know, I would say probably like 10, like, but are willing to take a draft, like willing to take a number one on Stroud.
Right.
Who knows? Well, you guys said,
yeah,
there's a couple good ones coming out, but we'll see. I wonder if Georgia's QB is going to get drafted.
Oh, for sure.
And you guys ran away with that game, by the way. Like, going back on that game, you ran away with it at the end. I think it was a good fight till like the second half, and as soon as the second half, you guys just like coasted.
Yeah, dude, I was watching. I finally watched a college game, and it happened to be the Ohio State Michigan game. And literally, I was texting Chris, and I was like, "Dude, they cannot run the ball." And right after that text, they like ran like a 70-yard play.
Well, what's crazy is their best player, Blake Corum, did not play in that game. Their best running back.
I was about to say the Don's kind of good though.
Oh, he's crazy good. He's a sophomore. But Blake Corum is by far their most explosive player on that team. Couldn't go, got injured last week. So the Don had to step up, which I knew he could, and he did. I don't know if you saw him, but he had a broken hand, so he was in a cast.
Oh,
so
wow.
that trick
right.
play where you saw Mullins throw that jump ball pass to our
linebacker / running back / quarterback,
easily is at least the third option for that play. If Blake Corum was healthy, he would have thrown that ball. If Donovan Edwards didn't have a broken hand, he would have thrown that ball.
That's what,
and it would have been a touchdown pass too if either of them threw it.
That's what they're saying too. Like that's what I heard the commentators, like, he couldn't get a grip on that ball. So going for the first down, they would put the second string in a short distance because he can't fully like grasp it.
Yeah,
man, dude. Well,
and JJ McCarthy, because like you said, Ohio State did a good job stopping the run at first. So JJ had to start airing it out, and we saw the deadly threat that he can be.
I want to say I'm shocked by one thing, and that's by Michigan not getting number one.
It doesn't matter.
I understand it doesn't matter, but I'm shocked because the past. So Tennessee beat the number 2 team, right? Or were they number 1 team at the time? Alabama.
No, they were never number 1.
Yeah, so they were the number 2 team, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they jumped Georgia to get number 1. So I was expecting Michigan, a 3 team who beat a 2 team and beat a 2 team pretty convincingly, not jump to number 1. I was just shocked by that. With who has Georgia played besides Tennessee?
Alabama. No, they didn't play Alabama.
No, they haven't played Alabama. They don't this year because they're in separate divisions and just didn't work out. No, they
played Tennessee and Oregon, and that's it. That is the only 2 teams that they've beat.
And here's how I look at it. I'm okay with Georgia being number 1 because they are literally defending the national title this year. So
I get that, but when you beat Penn State and Ohio State, well, I guess similar records.
Here's the thing. No matter if Michigan is ranked number 1 right now or number 2, they only get to play Georgia in the title game.
Yeah, and
no matter what, they're not playing them right away.
No.
So they just have to keep winning, and then they can earn that redemption game.
I'm shocked that USC got 4 and Ohio State dropped out of the top 4.
So
Yeah.
I'm
I
shocked
am
by that. Like,
and I'm not, because the committee is kind of setting up for some drama because if USC loses again to Utah, they're
Yeah.
for sure out.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was going to ask, if they think they're going to lose.
I don't know if they will, just because it's so hard to beat someone twice in the same year, and that USC team has gotten a lot better since that game.
Yeah, Williams is looking
But it's
good.
definitely possible.
Yeah, and they're not. And Utah's not a bad team either.
And if that happens, then Ohio State gets in. And
I
they
feel-
should over Alabama, because Alabama's best win this year is Texas, and that they barely beat Texas's backup QB.
That's
And
right.
that was their best win all year. So, yeah, if USC loses, it should be Ohio State.
No, their best win was Ole Miss.
It's debatable. No,
They were
Alabama.
they were 11 at the time.
But here's the thing: LSU just got their third loss, and LSU beat Alabama.
Yeah, I'm not
Tennessee
saying-
beat Alabama too, and got
Yeah, but-
destroyed by Georgia.
No, they. What the hell are you talking about? Destroyed by Georgia. What do you think the final score was?
Didn't they lose by 2 possessions?
Yeah, 27-13.
Sorry,
That's not
that's getting
destroyed.
destroyed. Alex,
Okay, whatever, dude.
if
No,
you can't come within
No. This is what I
one
think about.
possession,
This is what I think about getting
You got
destroyed.
destroyed.
They lose to South Carolina 63-38. That's getting destroyed.
yes, that is getting destroyed.
That's getting destroyed. Can you talk about South Carolina? 2 big games back to back.
I don't want to talk
Yeah.
about him. I hate him.
Spencer Rattler,
Who's
dude.
Spencer Rattler?
Yeah, he's
I
from
think
Peoria.
Yeah. I don't really respect him either. He's a weird
No.
guy, but I
Big
do think
wins.
it's funny because I've been saying all year that Clemson is so overrated. Like the ACC is a joke.
Yeah, they're still 9th.
Because they like him, because they won a couple years. It's a likable thing at a certain point, right?
That's
the
no,
shitty
yeah,
part
that's
about
a
some of
hey,
it.
we still need Clemson to go to a decent bowl game because it's money.
Mhm.
But they dropped 1 position and they lost to an unranked team.
Yeah, no, it's bullshit.
Well, I guess
for sure.
Tennessee dropped. No, Tennessee dropped.
I think that's the hard
6.
thing with the like playoff structure as it is right now. It's kind of it's almost some part of it is favoritism or likeism.
Yeah.
Like it's not necessarily always going to go to the person who was the most, who's the best, who's the undefeated. Like obviously we can look at Georgia and be like, yeah, for sure, Michigan for sure. But even like if you put USC against Ohio State, I don't think USC has a chance. Same with Alabama.
No.
I think you put any of those teams against USC, that you don't have a chance. It's just it's funky. It's weird.
Yeah, and what's sad too
What
is, like,
USC has, because let's be honest, they both have 1 loss. Whose loss is more of a understandable loss? Ohio State.
Ohio State's, yeah.
But USC has a chance at a Pac-12 championship, and this committee tries to hold that somewhat of a thing. Not always good about it because of
Like,
how
how
many
much
Power
does that
5 conferences
mean?
lose or don't make it in. But I think they want to include as many of the conferences as possible. They want
Yeah.
to.
And with USC making a like stir in it, like not being in the Pac-12 again, it's like a big statement too.
Yeah, and yeah, they're not going to be in the Pac-12 after this year. No, 2025, right?
Yeah, a couple more years.
Yeah,
More years.
2025. I think it's 2025. But
Can they go back on it and stay in the Pac-12 if the Pac-12 gets better?
I think they already
I
signed-
don't know how far along they're in with that.
I was just curious. I didn't know because man, there was another. I mean, Oregon State beat Oregon this weekend too, and that was a huge one. Like
That
Oregon
was
had
a huge
some
one.
type of chance being in it. They lost it. Well, that was funny. I think, yeah. I think I sent you
Weird
guys that
college
video,
football.
didn't I?
Which one?
It was like the circle of the Pac.
Oh, yeah, that was hella
Shit
funny,
so
bro.
funny. Like, this person beats this person. This person beat that
Mhm.
person. So they
The
all
girl.
just fucking suck.
Dude, it's a bad year for ASU when they lose to U of A. And U of A's trash right now.
You know, we have a new head coach now. They just hired, who's that guy? I seen all over.
They just
I saw-
hired the youngest Power 5 head coach, and his press conference was interesting.
He
To say the least.
he got hired like Oregon's offensive coordinator, right?
Yes. Yep.
And he was like, "No, it wasn't his thing. Like, no, I was focused on the boys," and they got fucking smoked.
Smoke.
Destroyed.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. No, I guess not destroyed. 30, but by an unranked Oregon State team. Come on.
Speaking of head coaches
First.
and circling back one more time to the
Jim
glorious game. Shout out to Jim Harbaugh, who deserves Coach of the Year again. But also, I kind of feel a little bad for Ryan Day.
Why?
Not really, because hate Ohio State and will always laugh at the fact that ever since he said they're going to hang 100 on Michigan has since outscored him 86-50. But I don't know how much you guys were paying attention to online or whatnot, but immediately Ohio State fans wanted him fired and I just think that is a bit unfair considering he has only lost twice in the Big Ten. Both games happen to be Michigan. Only lost 3 times completely in the regular season as the head coach. Took him to a national title game. And you're already calling for his head. Like, that's a little bit ridiculous. Especially because
they're not even out of the place, are they? They're not even out of it yet.
They're not even out of it. But and I get it. Like, the game is super important. I mean, I'll be the first to admit a lot of stupid Michigan fans wanted Harbaugh gone before he turned it around. Nope. Because here's the thing with college. I know you laugh at that because of how I am with the Lions.
I was going to say, that's not you.
College is.
You sound like those Ohio State fans that want Ryan Day thing. You just said that a couple
normally
weeks ago with the Lions.
Normally, yes, with the Lions, that's how I have been this year. I've been a little frustrated at times, but with college football, you got to remember your coach is also a GM when it comes to recruiting, and I knew. With Harbaugh's NFL ties, his ties to the school, and his name value, there really wasn't any other coach out there that would be a better hire for the school. So, you might as well just let him figure it out and let him get back to the style. They're good now because he's playing the style of football that he's always coached. When he first got to Michigan, he was doing a bunch of shit that he thought he should be doing. And same thing for Ohio State. Okay, you get rid of Ryan Day. Who are you getting? Who's better than Ryan Day for you right now? Who? I guess you could kind of make an argument about Luke Fickell before he got hired to Wisconsin because he's an Ohio State guy who would have probably still done well very recruiting, but really beyond him, I don't know who you would have preferred for that job. So I did think that was a little funny.
Listen, it's college, man. They're going to be after anyone's head if they don't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Wow. That'll get a lot easier once they expand it to 12.
Yeah, that's going to be
so much nicer. When is that?
Next year, right?
If not next year, the following year.
I think that'll just make it so much more competitive. Really.
So are they going to just make the Rose Bowl part of the play-in games, or what are they doing?
The Rose Bowl, actually, I was reading today, they're kind of having a weird dispute with the college football playoff right now because I guess their whole thing is they want the game played at the same day at the same time, no matter if it's part of the playoff or not that year. So I don't know. They're kind of having a weird little spat.
I don't know. The Rose Bowl was always. I'm surprised.
But I will say this about the 12-game expansion: Alabama's dynasty will be over.
Oh yeah.
Because you can't keep up that level of dominance playing that many extra games.
And just think of the teams that will get recruits now saying, "Oh, we got the 10th." Now it's "Oh, you got the 10th seed. Okay, Kansas State, you got the 10th seed." It's Kansas State. They got 3 lost, but they're still 10. They still make that playoff team.
Well, then
the bigger playoff it helps teams.
At the end of the day, it's anybody's game, and that's the best part about football, right? And so there's going to be a lot more upsets, a lot more opportunity for other teams. I think when you only get these 4, you don't really you get to see who's the best, but you don't get that some people just go on runs.
Exactly. How many wild card teams have made it to the Super Bowl?
Yeah,
right.
Steelers 6 spot won it.
They won it when they were in a wild card spot.
They won it
There
when
you
they're
go.
in the 6th spot.
And sometimes watching the teams click at the right time of the season is special, and that's a huge deal.
And other ones fall. Some get injured. Like think about, Tennessee. Like Tennessee would probably
that's
still
sad.
get in, but then that would have been like they
Wouldn't have been able to do anything because
It would have been
you're-
pointless. Yeah.
Yeah, you have your starting quarterback out.
Yeah.
But then you have like teams like Clemson who are going to get probably demolished by these other small teams.
And I think it just takes again away all from that favoritism that you have to have certain conferences or certain this. At
Yeah.
that point, it is the best of the best teams based on who they play and what they play. But you'll still always get like your Clemson and you'll still always get your
Mhm.
Alabama, and no matter where they are. But I do
Ohio
agree. I think it'll
State
make
is-
college a lot more competitive, and it may make it more fun. I think that's
Yeah.
the big thing, right? Like even in the past, like it's determination for who is the championship game, who is this, who is that. It's just it never was like, oh, it was truly the best team playing. I mean, since really realistically, right?
All right, this is the time. I want each of your guys's top 4 making the college playoffs. We're at the championships. We've got Georgia, Michigan, TCU, USC right now. Ohio State's sitting right on the outside. USC has to play Utah to get in. USC has to play Utah, and if USC loses, Ohio State probably gets in. LSU plays Georgia. It's not really probably they haven't looked that great, but they could come out of nowhere. They did beat an Alabama team, so like whatever. Yeah. So what do you guys think?
I think no matter what happens at the conference games, Georgia, Michigan, and TCU are in.
Even if Georgia loses?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Think about the other year. Literally last year. Georgia lost to Alabama. Sorry, Alabama in the conference game.
But
Still made it in.
wasn't Alabama ranked like 3?
True.
You're talking about a team that's ranked 14.
Who's going to go above them? Ohio State?
Yeah. Well, I actually have no idea, right? But
They're still going to be in the top 4.
Yeah, there's no way that they let them slide, huh?
Like, yeah, maybe they put Georgia in at 4 if they lose to LSU. But like that's worst case.
I don't know. Alex got a good point because I
You're
think
losing-
at those point you look at both those teams. I'm putting almost. I would think Ohio State and Georgia would be one of those like hard toss-ups because Ohio State lost to a better team, where Georgia's going to lose to a worse team. Like if I'm putting that in perspective, you played you guys were 3-4 and played each other, and Georgia is 1 and what is LSU right now?
14.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's like that will be so controversial depending on what happens. If Georgia does lose, that will be crazy.
Because you have USC who beat an 11 team who went and came back and beat Utah. If it happens, right?
Yeah.
They stay in. TCU wins their game. They're undefeated. You can't really take them out, right? Michigan, they beat Purdue. Can't really take them out. Georgia, you lose to a number 14 team in your SEC championship game. You're not the SEC champion. Ohio State lost to a number 3 team. I'm just saying, like, it seems like it. But then you have also what you have going for you is, do they really want the last year's champion who looks like they're going to dominate the whole thing out of it?
I love the chaos of the scenario you guys just painted because that would be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But if you take Georgia out of it, that means there's not going to be an SEC team.
Yeah.
That ain't happening.
Yeah, I know. See, that's what I'm saying. Like,
the playoff will always include an SEC team.
You would have
Big
to.
Ten team.
You would have to look at it though.
I'd still agree because they're both 1-loss teams. That's so hard. I understand what you're saying, but that is. So do you? So then do you put in? I get it. It's challenging.
Do you put in Georgia over Ohio State because they need an SEC and a Big Ten team? Is that literally why?
That's fucked.
Literally why they do it. Like
that's where the playoff system's run. That's why that's one
part
of
it.
Why I don't.
But also think about it this way: let's say this. Let's throw out this utter chaos. I'm going to knock on wood before I say it because I don't want this to happen. Let's say Georgia loses. Let's say Michigan loses. Let's say TCU loses. All undefeated teams lose. No, let's act like USC wins.
Okay.
Those 3 teams lose. Okay. Well, guess what? They're all 1-loss teams. Okay, who else is a 1-loss team? Ohio State. Oh, except they got beat pretty bad by Michigan. And then beyond Ohio State, everyone else is a 2-loss team.
But then you're looking at how do you kick who are they competitive
those teams out.
But that's what, again, it comes down to who do you lost to. Like, if you guys lose to Purdue, that looks bad on you, but you did beat Ohio State. So that even gives you that little shoe in. If Georgia loses to number 14, then, I mean, again, you just think it's so chaotic, and then you have to reassess, because then I don't think at that point that USC would be the team.
Well,
USC
I think
the team to get in. I don't think so.
Well, I mean, I guess I think in that scenario, I mean, yeah, because then you even have, because I mean, even if TCU loses, they lost to the 10th ranked team. Georgia loses, they lose to the 14th ranked team, right? So now you're like thinking like, okay, cool. Technically, and I guess it all depends on, say they all get beat by 7 points. So it's an even spread. No one got killed. All good games. Who do you put in there? Do you keep Georgia in? Do you take TCU out? Like, like the one team that looks the weakest.
I
TCU?
think we could sit here and talk about this forever. But in my eyes, I really think this. I think if USC will be the only team who I think actually stand a chance on losing. Like, I think Georgia will be LSU.
I think so too.
So if USC does lose, and I think they have actually a good chance to lose because it's against Utah. Utah did beat them once. Utah is still a pretty competitive team.
Yeah.
That Ohio State gets in.
Yeah, 100%.
If everybody does their thing like they're supposed to, then it stays the same.
This is what I think personally. TCU loses, Ohio State gets in.
That's definitely a possibility.
Because I think Ohio State has a harder record than TCU had, and TCU squeaked out wins, and Ohio State dominated wins.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the thing too, is like, because you don't even think about that. Like, TCU loses, they're playing a 10th ranked team. That's a good team. Kansas, pretty good team. Like, so hopefully, so what do you guys I want to hear them right now. Top 4.
Georgia, Michigan, TCU, and I don't know. I have a feeling USC will get it done. So USC, but I would not be surprised if it's Ohio State.
Cool.
I'm going to say USC loses and Ohio State goes in. So that'll be Georgia, Michigan, TCU, Ohio State.
I'm going Georgia, Michigan, USC, Ohio State.
You think TCU will lose?
Mm-hmm. They have not looked great in any of the games they played. They've won. They kind of remind me of the Vikings. I
could do this again. Like, what if they both lose? What if USC and Kansas State lose? Then who is it? Is it Bama, Ohio State?
So no,
I will be so annoyed if Alabama gets in. They do not deserve to be in.
I say no, because then you can't put Bama in, because technically TCU is still only a 1-loss team, and Bama is a 2-loss team.
Okay, crazy. All right, crazy.
Yeah, so, but that's what I'm taking. So, all right, moving on to probably the most anticipated time of our show. We all know, and we've all been rooting for them. Even Justin has put in some good words for them, and that's pretty out there. And we're going to talk about the Burnt Down Diner and what happened on Thanksgiving Day. So where you have them in the palm of your hands and you lose it. Take it away, Christopher.
Well, I'll start off with the positive, boys. I'm assuming you both watched the game.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of positive.
So you saw that we hung with the Bills the entire game. We gave them a run for their money.
Mm-hmm.
We proved that we're not the same old Lions in the sense that,
you're the same old Lions.
We're the same old Lions in a lot of ways. And I'm getting there. But we're not the same old Lions in the sense that we're not an easy game. I don't care if you're the Chiefs. You're not getting an easy game from Detroit.
Yeah.
You can't just check off a W in that week, like you probably could for a long time. A lot of good things out of that game, especially on the defensive side of the ball. That defense has grown so much this year. Aiden Hutchinson is so fucking fun to watch. Hey, Borat. So I'm so happy for Aaron Glenn and that defense. But like you said, kind of shot themselves in the foot right there at the end of the game. That 3rd and 1. That's what did it for me. That's what pissed me off. They could have lost that game, and I would have been like, you know what? That was a great game. We showed people that we aren't, this weak ass team anymore. That was, one of the better Thanksgiving Day games in recent years. But when you make that stupid ass play call, when you have these timeouts, you have 30 something seconds left. All you needed to do was get the first down to get a whole new set of downs. And you decide to take a deep ass shot with Jared Goff. That's a dumb fucking decision. That's a bad coaching decision because you stopped the clock. So now you just gave the Bills so much more time because you stopped the clock. You didn't bleed it. If you're going to at least settle for the field goal, why didn't you get closer, bleed the clock, and make sure it went into overtime? No, you gave them plenty of fucking time to come back, go down the field, and do what they needed to do to win the game.
Did they have a timeout?
They had several.
Yeah, then I don't think what you did was. I get it. I get what you're saying, but I don't think I don't think it was as bad, and I think the receiver made more of the mistake than Jared Goff made in the way that he was looking for the ball. Because if he would have turned the proper way, it was a beautiful ball. It was right where it needed to be. It was a first down. It would have set him up for some success. I think he fucked it up for them.
And
I get
and Jared Goff did have a pretty good game.
Great game.
Like
I wasn't trying to disrespect him when I said when you do a play call like that with Jared Goff, but
I think
that's the thing. If they would have
run it, they would have called a timeout. Like they would have, you would have stopped. Like you wouldn't have been able to bleed it out because they would have had 3 timeouts. I think.
Well, that's fine.
You guys fucked up by letting Stephon Diggs get wide ass open in the middle of the fucking field. Like, how do you not put 2 people on him? That you could have still won that game with 30 seconds left. Your defense failed you. Your defense.
Absolutely, they did in that moment. But the way I look at it, if the receiver did look the right way, if they did connect, would it have been a hell of a play? Yes. Would it have set us up to win the game? Yes. But would you still look at it and go, oh, that was a smart move? Or would you go, that was a gutsy move that paid off? And that was a gutsy move that paid off.
But I think that's the thing that your team needs. Like,
they've been playing like that all year.
Like safe bets and safe runs and what's the worst that would have happened? They would have ran it, and let's say they either got the first down or they got stopped.
The gutsy shit that I liked in that game was the going for it on the 4th down and shit. But in that situation, you get the first down, you call a timeout yourself, you regroup, you have a whole new set of downs, you're closer for that field goal. And I don't know that made
I don't
me lose
think
my
you're
marbles
wrong at all. I think you brought some really great points to light in the decision of the play call. I think when you were saying it, I was thinking like, oh, you're not wrong. I get where you're coming from, and I get what you're saying. I think it wasn't the worst play call they could have done. Like, I think they could have done something way worse. But at the end of the day, it is all like maybe a moment feeling and what you're feeling, how the quarterback's feeling, and it was just the call that they made. But no, dude, you looked super impressive. I wanted you to have that win so bad. And the minute I saw Stephon Diggs like right in the middle, wide open, and
what
then
was
I was
with
like,
that?
Oh my god!
And the thing they played such good secondary. Like, I understand that
good all game. He had no catches all fucking game.
He had 77 yards, and how many of that came on that last play?
Mm-hmm.
Most of it.
Yeah, like so it was like, dude. you shut them down. Like,
I think 60 of those yards were from that last play.
yeah,
But that's football. You lost one assignment and that guy and they got blown and you got blown and I think they did a wrong coverage personally. Like if I'm looking at like the covers that they played, they just try to play it safe and like, oh, we'll throw people in the back. But like with people like when the Chiefs do it, you can't play safe with the Chiefs. You can't do a 3-man deep and call it good. You have to still be on them because you got Tyreek Hill, you got this, and they still have a Stephon Diggs, they have a Gabriel Davis. They do have people that can make pain to you in a matter of seconds. Like they could have done some, I don't know. I just think bad play call defense, and that's what.
Yeah, that's rough. Hey, you know what, man? It's okay though, because the most interesting thing that would have come out of it would have been a 5-6 team. That because do you really just asking as a fan? Do you really want them to make the playoff as the 7th seed to lose in the first round?
Yeah,
you do.
Yeah,
I think you'd rather just see them in the playoff.
I want to see that step forward because right now they're actually kind of sitting pretty with the Rams' first round pick being so damn high with how bad the Rams are.
Yeah, I get that.
So that's pretty good. So what I want to see out of the rest of this year is just development from our coaches, development from our defense, development from our offense. I want to see Jameson Williams get out there and get some reps at some point. You guys literally hear me
my God, there he
say
is.
his name and like wish him into the game. Jameson Williams.
Oh, wait, maybe Rob, sorry.
Every week I beg for him. So I just want to see this team take steps forward.
Schedule doesn't look horrible. The rest of the year doesn't look horrible.
Who they got next 3 games?
All right, they got next game. They got who is it again? I just looked at it and I don't know where it is. Yes, they've got the Jaguars.
Easy, they can get that.
Vikings, which they always play tough.
Yeah,
and then
we got to get them back. We almost have them.
And then you've got the Jets. That's a little rough one.
That's rough.
But then you go to the Panthers.
Depends on who's playing. If it's Mike White, it's rough.
But then you go, Panthers, Bears, Green Bay. So you end pretty.
You can do it.
Yeah.
You won't be 12.
We could sneak our way into that last little spot, and I'd be so happy with it, even if we did go into that game and lose. Just because it's like, okay, it's a step forward.
Right now, you're just hoping that some of the NFC East team to lose. Really, is what you're banking on.
Yeah,
you're trying to get the.
No, I need the Commanders to fall apart.
You need the Giants to keep losing. But like, I also think that's super tough. But the good thing that you have going for you is a lot of our in-conference games in the NFC East are coming up. Like
especially for the Commanders.
I noticed that. Yeah, the Commanders have a rough go.
Mm-hmm. But if they can win some big games against the Giants, they could. I don't think they'll beat the Cowboys, but I think they will play them good. It'll be fun. But yeah, I don't think your I gotta I give it every week. I think your Lions are just doing better and better and better. And this has been one of the most fun years to watch the Lions and help you root for them because man, it's tough. So sometimes we gotta dig you out of the ground.
Yeah, it's fun from an individual basis. Like Hutchinson is the highlight for me this year, watching him. But
Jeff Okudah, bro, he's coming to.
I'm so happy with Jeff Okudah.
Even Jamal Williams, DeAndre Swift, like dude, you should just be your offensive line. So it's been, but he was injured, like part of it. He's still probably dealing with injuries, but you still have a Jamal Williams, so it's not a big deal.
And to see
two-headed
Amon-Ra St. Brown go crazy in every game,
he's so good.
It's
so
ridiculous.
Good.
And
we can keep talking about the Lions, but I don't. I think
there's no point.
There's no more. Yeah.
So
it's over.
We've been on a strand. You've kicked out a couple teams.
Mm-hmm.
You kicked out your whole division. You've kicked out, unfortunately, the best team in NFL, the Pittsburgh Steelers. You kicked out the Cowboys. You kicked out probably the worst team in the NFL, the Browns.
Arizona too.
Oh yeah, he kicked out Arizona. Yeah, I forgot about that. So who are we eliminating this week on The Bachelor with Chris?
So I thought I knew who I was going to pick this entire weekend and everything leading up to this. And I had my whole reason ready, all of this. And then on my drive home, it was like, actually, I'll save that team.
Ooh.
Because really the most appropriate team to knock out, because you already mentioned, I knocked out the shitty Cleveland Browns. And the way Michigan dismantled the Buckeyes this weekend tells me that I really just need to eliminate the entire state of Ohio and
Shittiest state in the world.
get Cincinnati out of there too.
Get them out
Even
of
though
there,
I think
bro.
they have the coolest helmets in the league.
Still the shittiest fucking team. Sorry, third shittiest team in the league.
I just can't ever get myself to root for an Ohio team. So
Yeah. Who would want to ever root for
bye-bye,
an Ohio team?
Bengals.
Goodbye. Hey, Cincinnati. So long.
Let's do 2. Why not?
all right, let's do 2.
Well,
My
who's
other
that guess?
one-
I gotta know.
Is another tie to this week, and that is the Buffalo Bills, which is surprising because I really like the Buffalo Bills.
They beat you though. You can't just root for a team that just
I
beat
don't
you.
hate them for beating us. I don't hate them at all, actually. Like I said, I've been a fan of them ever since I was in high school and they had Ryan Fitzpatrick, and that was kind of the early Fitzmagic days.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, I kind of like this Bills team. And then started playing the Bills and Madden a lot more, and I've grown to really like them. But because of how strong of a team they are right now, I can't just be like, oh yeah, I'm a Bills fan now.
Bandwagon.
Look like a fucking bitch bandwagoner. I'm not going to do that.
Okay, but listen here. While you're doing this thing, okay, don't pick another like Jacksonville. So now we have to hear you rant about 2 fucking teams that suck. Okay, so
I'm going to pick a happy medium, Alex.
Okay, good. Like, don't go like, you know what, man? I'm gonna cheer for Jacksonville Jaguars. Like, what the? I'm an Atlanta Hawks fan. Or Atlanta Falcons fan.
Wow.
now.
Yeah. They're never winning the Super
Wrong.
Bowl. You're right.
Never winning the Super Bowl. Sorry, I've been thinking about basketball a little bit, and I'll go on a little rant here, bro. Have you guys seen the scores?
Oh, hold on. Okay, hold on. No, we're still doing bachelor.
Oh,
yes.
sorry.
Well, yeah. You're going ahead of yourself. Yeah. We got corners to hit, and we're already almost like 40 minutes deep into this bad boy. So, Chris, who are you eliminating?
He eliminated
The Buffalo Bills.
And then okay.
Yeah. And the Cincinnati Bengals are now officially off the list.
Fuck them. They're the
Yeah.
worst. Fuck the Cincinnati Bengals are trash. Okay. I think it's time to hear a little whistle toot toot to put our little hard hats on. Get to work. Because not only
Such a tough man whistle.
not only did I predict the Steelers to win this week, but I think you guys put a little money on the line as well.
I'm not worried about that. You guys didn't. I'll give you $15, but that was not a beautiful win.
Hey,
I get
listen,
it. You're gonna
I
take
don't
it when you
recall
get it.
making any sort of bet.
Okay, I'll replay it for you if you want me to, man.
No, I'm going to your Venmo.
Yeah,
we're doing it
Alexander
now?
dash Andre. Yeah, give me that $15, baby.
Did anybody actually Venmo you? No, I bet
No, I even put it in
He
there.
said no.
I even put it in there. So
I was saving it for the podcast.
while these boys are giving me the money that I'm so just, I would like to say the Pittsburgh Steelers once again. I watched this game, and let me tell you, man, it's been rough to be a Pittsburgh Steelers fan this year.
You look
Even
so
in
good
a-
the first half.
Even in the win, the first half was so nice. And then how the hell do you allow an 89-yard return? It start the second half. Okay. This is what got me though.
That was lit.
ESPN needs to fuck off. Okay. You know why? This is how they show did you see the graphic that they showed? They showed Colts offense first half. Okay. What happened to start the second half was an 89-yard kickoff return, right? Now they could have said second half offensive yards. No. They decided to say first half offensive yards since the 89-yard kickoff return. What kind of mind games are they fucking playing over there? What started off? How did we start off the second half? The 89-yard kickoff return. Okay. So I don't want to hear it was just rough. And then the last drive by the Colts, I swear the Steelers were
They were
trying to
lose
give
it.
him, trying to give him that game, bro. They were literally trying to lose that game.
I was going for Michael Pittman.
Dude, he fucking made me lose in our fantasy league.
Yeah, he didn't do that.
He got
did
61
enough.
yards and a touchdown. Yeah, he made me lose though. But I was just so it made me so sad about what Najee's done this year because you have Benny Snell come in and look like an absolute monster.
Stud.
He was good last year, but then for some reason he's been on the practice squad because I guess this Warren guy came in who hasn't been doing the greatest, but whatever. But
You just drafted him, didn't you?
yeah, but he hasn't been doing the great. But Snell, like last year, really showed himself. Comes up for one game, 62 yards on 12 attempts, but he was running hard. And even Najee was looking okay, but then he got injured and then he got rubbed down. It was some weird showings that they put on TV, but
it was hot.
It was, it was nice.
You know who I'm most mad at?
Who?
Kenny Pickett.
Why?
13 for like 15 the first half and sucked
Yeah.
balls the second half. Like sucked. Like
yeah,
he couldn't get it to like all the balls were like 2-3 yards short.
Dude, and like literally, I don't know where the Steelers learned how to draft wide receivers, but if literally if George didn't literally alter his body, that one pass is an interception.
Yeah.
The one long ball that they had, it was like really kind of poorly placed ball. But Pickens is good, which is
luckily,
nice. Dude.
Because like, I mean, he's gonna need that. He's like, he literally looks like one of those like just arms spread out. He's grabbing balls from left and right because Kenny can't even get it in his fucking his damn chest.
Yeah,
too small. His hands are too small,
bro. And then I don't want to hear. But then, what really got me is I don't know what happened in the second half, but Kenny was like couldn't make simple throws. Like literally, like balls were in dirt, balls were on the ground, like. The receivers were having. I understand he didn't drop a pass.
We know how you feel about balls hitting the ground, Alex.
But he like I didn't even watch the first half, and then they talked all this highlight. I was like, "Ooh, I'm so excited! Maybe I get to watch him play good." Then he went out there, and it was literally the second half was all Colts. Like all Colts dominated the second half, and they are. I think Matt Ryan just can't win a fucking football game. He looked even all. He was.
Yeah,
he kept making all these low throws and dope passes and stuff. And then what's his bucket? Who's that guy that tried to get more yards and ran back? Like, you fucking idiot! Like
thinking he's Barry Sanders.
Yeah. Like, and then he just kept going back and back, and I was like, dude, you would have had the first down if you just would have went.
See, the thing too is that, we got lucky that we played the Colts because for some reason. Don't know who was in Jeff Saturday's ear because I think this isn't Jeff Saturday's move. I think this is someone advising him.
Thing?
Bro, what is going on?
Why are you making these rapid play calls so quick? Trying to keep them like it was like they said they were trying to keep them on their heels, and
it was working. But then the moment it stops working, maybe call timeout. Because I will tell you for like 3 plays it was working. 3 or 4 plays they were moving down the field.
It reminded me of that Denver game where they're like. Call timeout.
Yeah, like literally. And it was just like, okay, cool. You got them. Like you have 30 seconds left. You're like, you have been scorching them. Okay, this play doesn't work. Now, why are we running to the ball, not calling a timeout, trying to get another play? What is going on here? Like, why are we doing this? And then to take a timeout to then not get the first down, but then almost take a timeout when they kneel the ball to try to like use them. I don't know what's going on there. So I don't know, but happy they won.
I understand the keeping them on your toes, not giving them a chance to like
I get it
and regroup, but I don't think you can do that with a Matt Ryan. Like maybe before, but like not in 2022.
No, but the thing is they were moving. Like I said, but then they had like 1 or 2 plays where they just like didn't do anything.
But after that run that he had, that would have been the perfect timeout,
dude,
right there.
Yeah, 100% timeout. Right. Get your group together. Why are we?
Let's be honest. He did that because the play broke down. He did that because he had to. That wasn't hey, Maddie, go run.
Yeah, like
so that should have been a sign of, hey, let's regroup.
Yeah, let's get a timeout. Let's think about this. Let's get a moment to actually win this game, right? Like besides, I think they had a game plan and we're just sticking to it. And like, good for him for sticking to the plan. But like,
talk about.
that decision.
And I want to say, shout out Pierre. What a crazy pick that he had. Very first, it was not even on his receiver, jumps off his receiver to pick. That was nice, beautiful. And
Pierre, you outside?
Yeah,
Kenny.
Kenny, we need a touchdown to Deontay Johnson. He cannot be the only number one wide receiver this year without a touchdown. So we need something.
He's not a number one wide receiver.
Oh, he is.
And he needs to stop dropping the football.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that. He does.
I told you this.
He's a number one,
year
like a Big
long.
Mac's a number one,
Oh,
but
yeah.
he ain't a number one wide receiver.
Yeah,
I think we told you this at the beginning of the year. He dropped balls like last year, like
you know
crazy.
who's the number one wide receiver?
And your team,
You're gonna hear me say it over and over again.
George Pickens.
No, Mr.
No, he's gonna say
Freiermuth.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna say Freiermuth.
I don't even know. Is it Firemouth, Fairmouth? What is it?
It's Freiermuth. Freiermuth.
It looks
And
funny
then-
though.
The one thing though that I'll have about him, he's a rookie this year. He's a second year.
He's a big boy body tight end.
Big boy body tight end. There was one catch he should have made. Didn't come back on the ball enough. Other than that, he's been doing good this year.
So Alex,
What's up, dude?
I just want you to check your Venmo, verify that I paid you,
Oh yeah, let
um,
me find my phone.
and I just want to let you know
Hold on, I'm taking my
that-
earphones out. So
while I'm talking to you, you're gonna take your earphones out while I'm talking to you.
Why you want?
oh, we've got money.
He's just gonna spend that on a T-shirt. So it's all good.
I got some of my
Yeah,
Venmo.
we just really helped him buy that
Yeah.
shirt.
literally I know what I'm gonna
But
buy.
to be honest with you, I was actually rooting to lose this bet last night. I was rooting for the Steelers, and I'll tell you why. A little Steelers fan brought me some good luck this past weekend. You know me, I'm very superstitious, and
Yeah.
when I had to leave my house during the Michigan game, I started watching it on YouTube, and it's funny. All year, I could get any damn college football game on YouTube live all year. And then as I'm driving, watching this game, all these streams are getting shut down. I'm like, you got to be
Damn.
kidding me. So instead, I had to click on this kid who's a Steelers fan, had all this Steelers shit going, and he was doing he had the game on and he was doing play-by-play and everything for it. And as soon as I started listening to him, that's when they really started taking the game over. And I was just like, man, if they pull this win off, I will root for the Steelers because this kid is speaking my language right now.
Yeah, go off, kid.
So I'm
Hey.
very happy for you.
I was also getting play-by-play updates out here. I was doing my not play-by-play, but I was like, hey, what's going on with your team, bro?
That is
I was
true.
trying.
That is
So
true.
busy.
And I think that, we're clocking out because we got to win. We are not out of a above 500 or at 500.
Just yet.
Yeah, just yet. Hey, we're there still. We've got this. Don't even worry, guys. But what I think that, where this other bet came from and where we should actually be going is into the Cowboy Corner.
Yeah, Chris does it better.
I know.
Thanks, Jay.
Chris, do it again. Do it again. Let
I
me
can't
hear it.
remember.
I mean, I've been kind of coughing all day, so maybe I won't do it better today, but I believe it is time to ride into town on Jerry's horse. And by the way, he named his horse OBJ for Cowboy Corner. Take it away, Jay.
That's pretty good.
How are the
That
boys?
is good. And he did it with, look at his little vocals. Now he's got to sip his little Slurpee. Yes, other bets. Man, what a good win, Alex. I told you not to bet on the fucking Giants.
Not a bad game though.
Bro. For them?
No. For the Cowboys.
Yeah, no, great game by the Cowboys.
Not
a good game by the
really.
Giants.
Not really a great game by the Cowboys.
Why?
Why?
Yeah, that's why I asked. Did I stutter?
Yes, you did.
No, I'm asking you a fucking
So
question.
I will say, great game. Great not game by the Giants.
What do
How are
you
you
mean?
gonna allow your defense to get you 2 turnovers
Because our
and
defense is
still
better.
lose the ball? No.
Yeah.
Giants have 2 turnovers.
Yeah.
Cowboys had nothing.
Understood.
Cowboys had nothing. Or maybe no, they had 1 interception, right? No.
Nope.
No, they didn't have any. They had nothing,
Just
right?
stop them.
You just stopped them, right? But how
Yeah.
are you going to allow your team to get you 2 more opportunities against a team that if you need to get opportunities against, or otherwise they're going to beat you, and then you do nothing for, right? Like, yeah, I don't know. You can go on what you're going to say and talk about how great you think the Cowboys are and suck their dick, but whatever, man. Go ahead.
I don't think I'm sucking their dick, but like for sure. I mean, like at the end of the day, like it's a divisional game. So it's not
Yeah.
gonna come easy. And it's not like Dak threw like horrible. Like he did have 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
But I mean, some were his fault, somewhere like one was a tip pass, and that's what happened. Like it wasn't like he was just throwing to go, like he wasn't Sam Darnold and throwing to ghost. And a 28-20 win on Thanksgiving Day, like you want to make it a game. Most watched game ever. 42 million people watched that game. That's
Really?
insane. 42 million people watched the Cowboys and the Giants play. So
I
that's
was
one
one
thing
of those
about like
42.
I think between everybody who just loves football, traditions and stuff like that, I think that everybody knows that's going to be a good game this year because
Mhm.
it's 2 teams who are looking to be in it. It's good for us because we get an NFC East win. CD was looking hot. Zeke carried the load this week instead of Pollard, so I always think that's really cool. Like that's the cool part about our offense and everything too. Like you don't have to just have Tony Pollard and he's the one making all the moves. Like this last week, it was all Zeke. So it's good to see CeeDee Lamb get into his own. I would have liked seeing someone else besides one of our tight ends catch a football for a touchdown. But I mean, like CD, Michael Gallup, somebody would have been nice, but all tight ends. And overall, I think just a really good game. Our defense is just, again, arguably one of the best defenses in the league. I think they proved it again against a team who tried, who had many opportunities to win this game and tried to win this game. But part of it, like the Giants also like fucked themselves. I think they could have had a touchdown in that very, very first series, I believe, right? Or the one they settled for a field goal. I don't know what it was, but I know they had like a pass interference and something else that caused them to have to like go back. And that was their own fucking fault.
Yeah.
He was heated. You see his face? You see him yelling at the
No.
refs? Oh, he was so mad.
Oh wait, Dabble.
Gabble,
Yeah. I
Yeah.
did see that
Pissed.
actually. Yeah.
But I mean, dude, statement win. I think it's hard this year because we are so good to sit here and be like, oh well, this and that, or maybe controversy here or this or that. I think the only controversy we have right now is OBJ and all that situation with him like drinking, getting drunk on a plane. Dude, that's Cowboys style, man. They'll take anybody who's gonna make them win a football game. Like, let's just be honest, right?
Yeah, no, that was a non-story.
Yeah, that was just something to get entertainment. And
Yeah.
I think OBJ had just drank a little bit too much and shouldn't have gone on that plane, probably.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we
I
all
am
make
annoyed with him though.
Why? Because he won't
Because
pick a fucking team.
yeah, I just want him to sign already. Like I paid $5 for him in one of my leagues because I'm like, oh, pick a damn contender already. And now I'm just sitting back. Like, I don't care if he signs with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Like, just sign.
But at this point, are we the front runner? Yeah, I think so, 100%.
Yeah.
I think that win against the Giants shows what the
Yeah.
Giants are starting to like lose, which is crazy because, like, honestly, like I would love to see every NFC East team making the playoffs and just say fuck you to anybody else in the NFC.
That'd be wild.
That'd be so cool. That and like because that's dude,
After years of disrespect.
we used to be the NFC South. That is right now.
Yeah.
We were the teams that you're gonna make it at 8-8. You shouldn't really be in the playoffs.
Yep.
And blah, 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 blah. And this year, even the teams that they're like the Washington Redskins, Commanders. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Dude, you're horrible at that, bro.
At this point, since it's not their team, like that's just a straight up slur.
Yeah.
Those Redskins. No, I'm just kidding. But like, who thought they would be good? Like we all
Yeah.
knew the Eagles would be good, and who thought the Giants would be good? The Giants didn't even have like anything. So it's just really it's a bright side to see for our division, our teams looking hot. I think this win right here gives us more power against the Eagles when we play them at home, and I can't wait for that game.
Bro,
I
what?
could not
what
care
the
about
fuck?
any
That
game.
game-
The Cowboys play the Eagles at home, and that's that. The Eagles been looking a little shitty, so let's fucking go. It's an opportunity, and
Yeah.
we're looking better.
Dude, talk about a late game or a late bye. The Commanders bye isn't until week 14.
Good. They need it probably.
Yeah.
Good. Win out
I'm
right now.
jealous.
Keep the streak. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, like
That's a great time.
They play the Giants right before.
The Giants right before you said.
Yeah, they play Giants next week.
Well, that'll be a good one.
Wow.
And I think we got a good way to finish off the rest of the year. I mean, really, if we can beat the Eagles, we can potentially win out the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Like
Colts
we got
aren't that good. The Texans aren't that good.
and then the Titans and the Eagles will be our toughest games
Yeah.
moving forward the rest of the season. Obviously, there's still going to be games that will be competitive, but like, I mean, really, we can squeeze out of here with 2 losses and still make the playoffs. 2 more losses and be whatever we are in 5 and make the playoffs. So it's awesome. And the other thing that I hate, like, and this is just, again, I understand it's just part of it, but like the NFC South is just like where the Cowboys once were. But like, dude, none of those teams are good enough to make it in the playoffs. And yet, what's going to happen, and this is what's going to happen, is we're going to end up having playing one of them because of where we're positioned, and and then Tom Brady will be the one that wins and gets over, because he's the GOAT. But like, that's just going to be the shitty end.
That would be like
that'd be funny.
Insane.
But
Yeah,
you understand, like, that's the problem with it, right? You can't ever count Tom Brady out, and somehow they'll win the division because that's Tom Brady. And then they're gonna make 2 or 3 games in the playoffs, and then we're gonna be one of the teams that loses to them. It's just gonna. That
was also like
that is worst case scenario.
That was like the Rams, what they got in one year at 7-9 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, like,
question.
Still, yeah. What's up?
So let's just say
if we go OBJ, we will beat everybody. Beat Dubs.
No, that would be huge.
And we can win the NFC East. We will win the NFC East.
Let's say that. The Eagles win the NFC. Let's say that they're number 1. But then you guys are right there with the second best record in the NFC. Would you guys be the 2 seed, or because you're not a division winner, you're automatically in the wild card spot? That's fucking wild. I don't like that.
Fucked up. I don't like that either.
No,
that's where I get mad, because that's like the 4th team would be an NFC South team at this point.
Yeah.
You don't deserve it. What, you deserve nothing? That's a bye week, right? They will still get a bye.
I'm okay with all the divisional winners getting in, but I think that it should then go by record. And if there's a team with a better record than a divisional winner, they should be seated in the playoff higher.
That's hard too, because again, it's just never been. But it's the whole crazy thing about it again. But like, honestly, I don't know what the Eagles' record is, but if we can beat the Eagles
9-1,
and then the Eagles lose, well, I don't know who they're playing the rest of the season. That's more their schedule.
If
the Eagles can lose one more game and we can beat them, we could win the NFC East.
Eagles look beatable. That's not the question.
Yeah, I was just going to say that is a very real possibility.
It's who they're going to lose to. And they play a hard team this week against the Titans, and the Titans need this win back, right?
Yeah.
So like, and that's going to be there is just so much. It's going to be interesting to see how the year plays out. And the NFC East is still up for grabs by every team. Yeah, except the Commanders, I think, can't get a chance in it, but like everybody else.
I mean, they're 7-5. They're still, they probably don't have a chance, but they're still good.
But the Eagles have some tough teams. They got to play the Titans next. Then they got to play the Giants, which the Giants are still going to give them a run for the money.
Then they got the Bears, which it's whatever. But then they got Cowboys right after that.
Saints.
Yeah, I mean, they have they're trash, dude. That's a win for sure.
But they are trash, but they're not horrible. Dude, they look their defense is what's good.
Andy Dalton doesn't look like he knows how to throw.
What they lost 13-0. Like, it wasn't like they got murdered by.
Yeah, you couldn't score a point. That's the main point. When your defense allows 13 points and you just can't score.
But then you got to play the Eagles again too. So you got to play 2 NFC East teams, 3 NFC East teams in a span of 5 weeks.
Which is hard.
Ooh,
that's hard.
Yeah. So it will be. It's so interesting, and
it's going to be a crazy finish in the NFC. I think it's going to be very exciting.
What's wild though? Think about this.
Well, now we can just go. That's wraps up.
Giant. Yeah. But you could think about this. The Giants technically could be the 4th team in the NFC or the NFC
5th team.
No, like in your division. They could be the 4th team. Like the Commanders are looking pretty good. Like they could take over that 3rd spot.
I could see that.
because they're playing the Commanders this week. Oh, the Commanders play the Giants in back-to-back weeks. Oh my God. Why do they want to do that? That's so crazy. I don't like that.
That's weird. Yeah. So wait, they play him, go on a bye, and then come back and play him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's kind of smart. At the same time, hey, come out here, keep the momentum, get a win, get
It's
a
kinda
break, come
wild.
back, win again. Like,
Go
That's
up
kinda
against the
wild.
team you just prepared for.
yeah. The only team I think the Commanders are not going to be headed for, they're not going to beat the 49ers. Period.
Yeah, rough
I
one.
don't think they can beat the 49ers, and I
They
don't
look
think
really
they'll beat
good.
the Cowboys.
Can we talk about Jimmy G?
Why? What about him?
Dude, okay, so yeah, what happens if Jimmy G takes you to the NFC Championship again?
I feel like you gotta stick with him.
Oh, like
Yeah, you trade Lance.
If
Yeah,
you
like,
look
what
at
do you-
his record right now, and I'm totally gonna blank on it. I want to say it's like 40-16 as
Yeah,
a
he has
starter
some
with the
ridiculous
49ers.
record, yeah.
He's literally got records that are very similar to Joe Montana and Steve Young.
Yeah.
Granted, I understand he doesn't have the titles to go
Yeah.
along with that,
I can't
but
finish
like
right now.
But he's
I
got some-
just don't get how you move on.
he got some great ball security too. Like, I'm just looking at these numbers. Like, I think this year he's had a total of one interception. Last 5 games, 1 interception. This regular season, I think it's 4, like 16 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Like, that's not bad.
Yeah, and then the only question that you have now going in forward is he the guy? He doesn't turn the ball over, he doesn't do all that stuff, but is he the guy that's going to drive down the field to win the football game? That is like the real question now. It's like
At certain points, he has.
that's what I'm saying, is certain points, right? That is what separates
And
Joe-
his longevity is
that
always
is what-
hurt.
yeah, that's what separates Joe Montana and Steve Young, and Jimmy G might have similar records, but Steve ended with what, 2?
He was
So-
one throw away from a Super Bowl with him.
100%. Like, and that's
One.
the thing. And that is why I was so shocked that San Francisco went away from him after literally leading your team to the NFC Championship game, beating some really good teams. But then you're one throw away and you're like, nope, we're done. You get thrown aside week 2, 3, right? Week 4, maybe get thrown back
forget.
in. And now your team is potentially looks like they could make a good run in the
Looked
playoffs.
way better with him than they ever did with Trey Lance during
Yeah.
his short
And
tenure.
that was so fresh though. They can, like, they were learning.
Well,
it. They
here's the
could-
thing.
if they would have
I-
done what they did now, I think he would have been different. With like running CMC and running DMs. Christian McCaffrey, just to say his fucking name.
CMC, you said it.
Yes.
You said
like,
run DMC,
I
actually.
know. They made some great additions to their team to make them really good, and I think it would have helped Trey Lance in the fact that he didn't.
I will say, besides the
Jimmy G-
one game, CMC hasn't done that much for them.
Yeah.
Besides that one game where he threw, caught, and
But
ran.
his presence
We know he
alone
is.
out
Yeah.
there.
I get that
Yeah.
100%. I get that, but he really hasn't done that much for them, like in overall and statistics and stuff like that. So yes, he would have been helping them a lot, but then that also means that would they have had this record? Like, now you have to go in. He was having a rough time at week 4.
If you're talking about Jimmy Garoppolo, I think the best thing that can happen to him is he gets traded. I think he gets traded to a team that is a win now team.
Why
Because
would you? Yeah,
but like, because they are going to stick to Trey Lance.
yeah.
If
There's
they
no way.
don't, I will be so shocked and surprised because they don't.
Because
like,
how
they
many
already-
picks did they give up for him?
They already gave up on Jimmy
3?
Garoppolo.
Yeah,
Like, think about that. Like, they gave up on him in the beginning of the year, and he had a prove it year. But what this does for the 49ers is it gives them ammunition to get rid of him to somebody. And because there's so many times, like, I think about, like, the Seahawks did that with Russell Wilson this year,
Yep.
right? Who would have thought that would have happened, right? But Russell was decent. He's Russell Wilson, whatever. And Jimmy G's having a great year. He's taken a team really, really far. A team's going to want him. Oh, like you mentioned this last week, the Lions. The Lions could be a real landing spot for Jimmy Garoppolo's based off the picks that you have. But
the
it could,
Jets,
the Jets, like
they need someone back there.
they could get rid of him for something good.
Yeah,
And Yeah, that's worked out for him. But that's best case scenario. He does that because who wants to be a backup? He doesn't want to be a backup.
Yeah,
That's why
100%.
left England.
He doesn't want to be a backup. But how can you, in good faith, as a GM, go, hey man, I'm just gonna throw it out there. Maybe Jimmy G, maybe
He takes it to the title game.
Yeah, maybe he takes him to the NFC title game again, right? He's proven himself good, right? He did last year. Maybe he does it again this year. As a GM, how the hell do you hang your hat up and go, you know what, man? Thank you for taking us there twice. We're gonna go with the kid who went 1-3 in the first 4 games last year. We're gonna trade you out. Like I'm
with you on that.
Like how do you make that decision? Like
because you got to remember that you're also the GM who gave up so much to go and get that kid, and you don't want to look like the idiot who just lost a lot of value when you could have just stuck with what you had.
100%. But you have it now. Don't make the same mistake twice.
I think at the end of the
I
day,
know.
you
Yeah.
also have the player, like the feeling of the player. And if I'm Jimmy Garoppolo, I don't want to play for you. I'm doing this for myself. I'm doing this selfishly so I can get
That's also true
out of here because you don't want me. You told me you didn't want me. You showed me you didn't want me.
And they shopped him this year.
Yeah, he could burn him at the end of the year and to be like, Jimmy, we want you as our long term. And he'd be like, no, I still want out. Still trade me.
He's a free agent, right? Or no?
I don't know.
I don't know, actually.
Okay.
Because I think they could still trade him.
That's the I didn't even think about that aspect of like, hey,
running back off season is insane. Did you guys see those? Who's all available? Oh, it was so crazy. I'll look it up while you talk about it. But yeah,
cool. And then so talk about them winning, right? Awesome. Talk about Justin Herbert once again, kind of looking like the guy he was.
Dude, once again, making great throws.
He's so good.
Literally, like it's like, dude, where was this guy? Was your rib actually hurting you that much?
Yeah,
I imagine so.
Like, yeah, you know, like, why would you play him? I understand, like, he gives you the best option to win, but why not sit him for 2 extra weeks? Like, you would have maybe been able to do something if you sit him and rest him versus putting him in those games, right?
I think Staley's coaching a bit for his job, though. So
he has to. Dude, what? Can we just talk about, I think, the surprise upset of the whole freaking week?
Who?
The Broncos, once again, let us down. I mean, what the hell, dude? Like, now they officially just suck. Yeah. Like, there's no way. Like, what? What is that
Not
about?
Gonna lie, I started to feel bad for Russell when his defensive lineman was going off on him on the sideline.
What? Who's he? Why does he get to say that? Who is that guy?
I guess he's a leader on the defense who was getting sick of the offense production. I'm not sure what was said.
So yeah, and like we got to think about it. That is 13, 12 weeks of frustration right there. That is the defense has been doing what we can, and you've literally done nothing for us.
Well, you got to remember, like, he's been on the team, and everything after last year, everyone's like, what were they saying about the Broncos? They're a quarterback away. They were saying, oh, we need Aaron. You know, they were hoping for Aaron, but they believed that the team was so well-rounded that they were just a quarterback away, and Russell was supposed to be that guy. But man, this year
they do not look well-rounded.
They do not. No, they look so regressed.
It's a coach. One and done, baby.
For sure. Yeah, I think he's one and done. Yeah. I think he survives the rest of the year, and then as soon as it's over, he's out. But Russell, man, you go from all the confidence in the world, getting this huge contract with the Broncos, all these high expectations,
Mr.
Broncos
Unlimited.
country, let's ride, Mr. Unlimited. And so far this year, his former teammates have come out to shit on him. His former coach keeps making comments. Now current players that he plays with are
the team you left is
drama.
Looking better than ever.
Right? Oh my gosh.
And the Broncos have been vividly frustrated with him and him specifically. So it's almost like, what are you doing to be like that? Or the other side of it too, like maybe they're just mad because they know how much he's making. and what he is capable and should be doing and isn't. I think either way or not,
Yeah.
And I want
at
to
this point, I
see
feel bad for him.
I want to see next year to see if it is truly Russ or if Hackett is just like really that bad of play calling, like really just like that bad.
Yeah.
Because I think it also has to do with him being their coach. He's kind of trash, like, but
you have to give Russell another season. You paid him too much money. You can't
you
not
got to
do
give
it.
him
You
all
know
the
what?
seasons. Like,
Suck it up. You picked it is not your year.
Yeah,
but they shouldn't. The fact of how bad they're like disrespecting him is almost, it's too much. You need to calm down if you're a Broncos fan. Like, you can't hate on this guy that much. Are you playing football for them? You don't know what the fucking ordeal is.
But the thing is, they did better with Drew Lock last year.
Yeah,
but it
but
was a whole different coaching staff.
100%,
everything was different.
100%.
Since then, I've gotten rid of Nick Chubb.
As a fan,
starting running back has been out.
As a fan base,
we need to get a Broncos fan on here. I know a couple.
Yeah, we do. Those guys need to get on here and talk about this, why they're so bad. But I mean, you have Latavius Murray, 13 for 92. Kind of had a good game.
One. That's not their number one.
Doesn't matter though, but he's been putting up numbers. The last 2-3 weeks, he's been running well.
That's all he's been playing because of Melvin Gordon, and then Melvin Gordon's fucked him. It's not all. That's what's frustrating, I think, for me, all the hate with Russell Wilson. It's not all on him. Melvin Gordon fumbled multiple times in game crunch situations and fucked
100%.
But yeah,
all on him.
Russell is getting the hit. Russell's
the face of the team. When you're a quarterback, you're the face of a team.
He's eating it and he's doing it, which, like, even when that guy was yelling at him, the one thing that you can compliment him on is he was composed. He didn't freak out. He didn't look like taken back from it. He just looked at him.
Well, that goes back to what a lot of people think of him, and I'm not dogging on him, but a lot of the times Russell,
yeah, you are.
No, he behaves like he's in a movie.
Yeah, he
behaves like he's the star quarterback in Remember the Titans or like
Friday Night Lights.
Like every press conference where he's like showing this personality, a lot of it feels disingenuous sometimes. Like when he was doing that press conference, oh yeah, I was in the plane, I was doing high knee. I did this for 2 hours, I did this for 4 hours, and then I did that. Like, he comes off so like, hey, I gotta portray this guy who is a great role model, who does all the right things, says all the right things, and then goes out on so like, I think when you see that football, and you see his social media presence, I think guys in the locker room probably get frustrated when, like you said, he's making this big money. He's showing up to training camp wearing his own jersey and looking all fly, and he's got his own private office, the only quarterback in the league to have his own private office at the facility. And the rumor is that you can't get a hold of Russell as a teammate. He ain't texting you. If you want to get a hold of Russell, you got to go through his people.
If all that is true, then you hear stories of Tom Brady, who I've heard he never forgets a birthday and will text you personally. Even if like you've played with him just for a little bit, like he never forgets a birthday. This is like the kind of guy I've heard he is, to where Russell Wilson, and you can't, like, sure, maybe they're both doing pretty bad this year. Tom hasn't looked like himself, but everyone's giving Tom the benefit of the doubt and no one's giving Russ the benefit of the doubt.
And I'm not even asking for Russell to remember a fucking birthday for anybody. I just want him to like be real and be a bro.
Sometimes though, like, you're in that limelight. You're in this, like, we can't be that same person in front of an audience like that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, at the same time, you have to create a character. Because, like, if you just are authentically yourself, sometimes people are going to hate you. And like, because you may have certain beliefs or feel certain ways, and people are going to disagree. And at this point, he's neutral. and he's created this persona that he is that good guy. Like he is a fun guy. And like
Yeah.
who knows who he really is at the end of the day? No one really knows who any of these people are behind closed doors unless we've hung out with them or known them,
Right.
or do something along
True.
these lines, right?
Totally.
So it's just I get it. He's acting out his scene, and his life is a movie at the end of the day. Like they can make a movie out of Tom Brady's life. They can make a movie out of his life. Like if you're an NFL player,
Aaron Rodgers.
there is a potential that you can have a movie made out of you. You know,
Oh, 100%.
So,
and you're
like-
you're absolutely right. You got to be careful with what you
Yeah.
say and do. Like,
So
because like you said, people can hate you for any amount of reasons.
I think he's just getting like, we can wrap it up after this. 'Cause I think we could talk about this one forever. I
Yeah.
think he's just getting like that whole Broncos team is falling apart, and he is the center stage man, like getting the heat for all of it.
Everything.
Even like no one's like drilling Nathaniel Hackett. You don't see a player going up to Nathaniel Hackett and be like, "What the fuck is your coaching call? What are you doing this for?" And like no one's doing that, but they're doing it to Russ. So
Hackett was in that video with Russ, and he was right by it, and he kind of just looked like a deer in headlights of like, oh, I'm just gonna stand over here. Like
and so
I think he's a lame duck coach right now.
what will happen, what will be interesting to see is the Broncos next year after the changes they make
Yeah.
and all the changes they made this offseason. That's the other thing that gets so mad. Like you take your number one out, you are going to be different. Your wide receivers have not looked good. Cortland Sutton
No.
cannot get open. Jerry Jeudy cannot get open. Then your defense, you go ahead and trade your best guy. Okay, wow.
Yeah, that was the sign to me that, oh, okay, this team is no longer just a quarterback
And
away.
if you're a GM, why did you let that happen? Is
You're
Chubb
clearly-
off for a contract?
Building for
What?
the future. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was they were gonna have to pay him next year.
Oh, good. And they get rid of him. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And like Chris said with Jimmy G, when you're a GM and you make a decision, you double down.
Oh yeah.
You gotta stay true. But anyways, yeah. So we could talk all about the games, but before we talk about the games, I saw this and I thought this was crazy, and I just wanted to like bring this up to you guys. These are all the free agent running backs this offseason, which is insane. I've never seen so many good running backs. Shaquan Barkley, Josh Jacobs,
Nice.
Tony Pollard,
Nice.
Miles Sanders,
Oh.
David Montgomery, Kareem Hunt, Damian Harris, Jeff Wilson Jr., Jamal Williams, Dante Foreman. You still got Singletary, Mozart, Penny, Drake. There are so many running backs, like top grade running backs.
You know what the
up for
problem
grabs.
is? That's not good for those guys. None of them are really going to get paid much.
No one wants to sign them.
Not to
Running
that
backs in general are falling down the pay scale in the modern NFL. Now you have that many of them available, plus whatever's in the draft class that you can grab young
Yeah.
and not broken.
Exactly, not broken, because like it's so funny because you still
Barkley.
have like was
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey,
Who's paying
Zeke
him?
Elliott, and Calvin. Their average per year, Christian
York.
McCaffrey is 16 million. How much of that 16 million is he really getting for playing? Like he's not playing a full season. Zeke, 15 million isn't the guy he once was. Not playing like 15 million worth. Alvin Kamara is not playing like 15 million worth this year either.
Nope. And
Look at
so,
my-
Is Zeke currently getting 15 million?
It just says his average per year is 15 million. He's fully guaranteed is 28 million, and he signed in 2019.
Okay. Because I was just curious. I was trying to figure out what the chances are that the Cowboys keep Pollard.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, if you're paying Zeke that much, like I know the Cowboys like don't
Restructure.
mind. They don't mind paying their people. That's the one thing I've always commended about the Cowboys is they're willing to pay people. They're willing to actually fork over money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You
It's not a
restructured.
checkbook issue. It's a cap issue.
Yeah, it's a cap issue.
You
like
have
paying
people
your-
like Tyron Smith who probably retires, if maybe right, because like he's old,
Yeah.
he's been injured all season. He may retires. That saves up room. You reconsider Zeke's contract and be like, hey, if we're dual threading this, I'm not paying you 50.
and then you gotta think like
Yeah.
Parsons is up in 2 years. You gotta not that's not far, it's
Trayvon
far,
Diggs,
but
Parsons,
yeah.
CD Lamb,
they're
like the
coming up.
Cowboys. That's why another thing with the Cowboys is it's a win
It's a
now because in
yeah.
2-3 years, like you're gonna if you're picking between Trayvon Diggs and Michael Parsons, you're paying Michael Parsons. Like you're not paying Trayvon Diggs.
Well, I mean, if you're what
You
you're also
gotta
But you
pay-
got to at least sleep on it.
Yeah, but you got to
Like, that's a tough-
You find
I'm
a
with
way
you.
to do it.
I know, but
But you
that's tough.
sign Dak to this big lucrative deal. You
Yep.
do all these other people. And then you look at the defensive player of the year. The potential defensive player of the year is Michael Parsons this year.
Yeah. Well,
So
Judon's
you
doing kinda
cannot
good.
not pay him.
Yeah.
I'd rather pay him than Trayvon Diggs, to be honest. That's a bigger person. But like again, it's the Cowboys the next couple years for the boys are gonna be different. But anyways, I just thought that was really crazy because like Saquon, like
So
where does he
many.
go? Does he stay with Giants? Does he go away? There's just a lot of opportunity for a lot of running backs.
But
But
I hope the
again,
Lions re-sign Jamal.
I
Me
think
too.
the big ones are like, whoa, Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt wanted out of Cleveland anyways. So like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
where
he
does he
wanted
go?
out. He ain't
And-
re-signing.
is he going to be that difference maker? Because again, we talk about these running backs. Some of them get like last year, Jonathan Taylor, best in the league this year.
Well, I mean,
Disappointed.
the Broncos have Marlon Mack. Remember when he was crazy for the Colts that
Yeah.
1 year?
I was gonna say for a minute.
Yeah, for like 1 year he was good.
Yeah.
Um,
So interesting,
and
but yeah, just
that was I like the facts, Jay. Thanks for bringing up those facts. Thanks for bringing up conversation. I want to run through this week real quick so we can get through with it.
I can't believe the Browns won.
The Browns, hey, Jacoby
Dude.
Brissett,
Overtime.
hey, he had to go out with a win. He's not playing again. He had to go out with a win.
So speaking of that, right before we hopped onto this call,
Yeah.
just real quick, I saw an article where, because like you said, it was Jacoby's last game, so that means Mr. Watson will be stepping
Back
onto
in the
the field
building.
next week.
Yeah.
Well, so a few of the seats at the stadium will be filled by the women who accused him. They will be at the game. I just have a funny feeling the atmosphere in Houston
Horrible.
is going to be like,
Yeah.
if I'm Deshaun, I'm like, you know what, guys, I'll take one more fucking game. Like, can we push it back? Like, I don't get why he'd want to come back.
The
This
NFL did
week.
it on purpose.
I
It wasn't Deshaun saying I'm coming back this week. It was
I get
the
why.
NFL.
I understand
there's
it wasn't
nothing
him, but I don't, man, that's
He's gotta
going to be
come-
tough.
He's got to come in order for him to succeed in the league. He needs to come in and face his demons head on. And this is like the head of the snake. And I think if he's going
What
to do it, he's got to do
happens-
it now.
What happens with the scenario where he loses to the Texans?
It's just one of those games they play him the next week. Like they'll play him the rest of the year. They're
No,
not
I
making
get
a
it.
playoff run. But
I-
like
I get it, but what happens? Deshaun Watson, you come in, you've done all these things, you haven't played, and once again, dude, we haven't seen this guy in 2.5 fucking years on the field.
Yeah.
Like we're saying all of these things. Like you can practice all you want. We could go practice for 2.5 years every day.
Game speed's different.
Way different.
Yeah.
What happens when he gets on that field and it's not the same? And they paid him $283 million, $85 million for what?
A lot of people will be
same thing
talking
that Russell
shit.
does.
Oh, dude,
But the Browns
I
are
can't-
known for that.
I can't wait to be
Remember when
one
they
of them.
signed Brock Osweiler to whatever crazy
Oh
amount of
my
money
gosh.
he was given. Like
Osweiler.
like it's just the Browns. But yeah, you got to kind of get ready for that. I think it's going to be interesting. It's going to be
It's gonna be a good
if
game.
you're into football. You got to watch. You're going to watch that game. If
I'm
you're-
watching that game.
For sure. Oh yeah, I want to see the atmosphere. I want to see what gets said.
The 70 something, 80 something yard TD run by Josh Jacobs to win that game.
Dude.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that
wow.
was crazy.
Poor
That was a
Seahawks.
good. Yeah, poor Seahawks. They should have. But hey, good on Raiders. Go.
Good on Josh Jacobs, who up to that game was kind of average.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of average. We've got a wild one that happened. Jaguars beating the Ravens. Let's go,
Yeah,
dude.
I was thinking of you. I figured you would love that.
Oh my
Dude,
god,
Lamar just, I mean, the Ravens can't just expect him to carry the fucking team every
that is
week.
the one thing. Like, I think it's like very, very similar with the Bears. Like, it can't be the Baltimore Lamar Jacksons. Like, it literally can't be just him.
Did you see him like post something pretty controversial and then delete it?
So I heard, but I
No, what
didn't
he
see
said.
what he said.
It's something
I'm gonna have to
like,
find it.
anti-gay or something is what it
But-
was. But at the end of the day,
Oh.
like it was because they were
Come
talking
on.
shit about his performance. And like,
Yeah, because I saw John Harbaugh's response to it, and the way
Yeah.
he was talking, I'm like, damn, what did he say?
I don't even know.
I don't know, man, dude. All I know is you go 254 yards a touchdown and run for 89 yards and you lose that fucking game.
That's not on you.
That's
Why
not
is
on you.
someone like again? It's like why are you hating on him? Why are you doubting his performance when it's not
Was it
him?
a Ravens fan who said it?
That defense let up a last minute touchdown
Yeah.
to Marvin Jones Jr. Who the like?
Jones Jr.
Yeah, but what has he been good? He hasn't been good in a long time.
He was good last year, 2 years ago, maybe.
I love Marvin Jones, so
Yeah, me
you're not
too.
going to hear
Yes, stop
that out of me.
the hate. Stop the hate. Yeah, I was just happy that Trevor Lawrence. This is the numbers that I think everyone thought he was going to put up every freaking game. 321 for 3 touchdowns. Where's this been? Huh? And
Slowly
yeah.
but sure. I mean, it's another rebuild situation. I think Doug Peterson is more than capable of getting that team together. Yeah, this year.
And it was
Zay
Zay
Jones. They're going to turn into
Who the hell
anything.
Zay Jones? It was Zay Jones. They threw it to.
Oh, so it wasn't even Marvin.
Yeah, it was Zay Jones. Right.
Okay, you guys want to hear what he said?
What did he say?
Okay, what did he say?
So a Ravens fan basically tweeted like they should waive him following this loss.
So a Ravens fan said that.
Yeah, he said,
"What a delusional fan."
Okay,
Nah,
I'm just gonna
I
read
wouldn't.
this kind of like as it is. Obviously, it's shortened because it's Twitter. Boys, shut the fuck up. Y'all be capping too much on this app. Motherfucker never smell football field, never did shit but eat dick.
Damn.
So like at the same
That just
time,
makes me like Lamar more.
I don't think
that's
that's
good.
anti-gay.
Nah,
but,
that's just.
people are so sensitive. Like I don't
But
eat
but-
dick. Like it's just-
but when you are a
I know.
face of a franchise,
I know.
you cannot say those things.
He deleted that.
Peyton Manning
so
would
fast.
never said that. Tom Brady would have never said that. Like, yeah,
Like you can think
it is a face of a franchise. Like, you can't say that. As
can't.
funny as that shit is.
dude. I love it. I'm for it, but you can't do that, especially to your fans who come.
I'm
and root
Lamar,
for you.
I'm not signing with the Ravens after that. It's like, okay, your fan base is that dumb. I'm leaving,
yeah, man. I don't know. And then you had the Commanders with the big win. You had the
and I'm signing with
Bengals.
Detroit.
yeah. I like him on Detroit. Let's go, dude. You got the Bengals beating the Titans. Pretty good game.
That was a good game, and the lineman was pretty happy to win too.
Hey, he was.
Yeah, what did he say? Like
Oh.
"fuck you, Nashville" or something?
Oh, I saw that. Yeah,
Bro, he was
something.
pissed.
Yeah, he had a
Hey.
vendetta against.
Yeah, he was.
And I told you
yeah.
guys last week, don't sleep on the Bengals. This is where they start getting hot. This is where Joey
Yeah.
B comes to be the
He
best.
said
Like just Joey B being Joey B.
And then is this the year? Now I know you signed into a 3-year contract and you're gonna play him because you paid him, but is this the year that Jordan Love starts to get a little bit of love?
Yeah.
No.
No,
Wait, what do you mean by get a little bit of love?
I don't know. Maybe you start to look at him a little bit more. I know he won't play for another 2 years because you signed Aaron to a 3-year contract. When you sign someone like that to that much of a contract, you're gonna play him.
Maybe.
That's
But-
what I don't get by some of the talking heads talking about Rodgers playing for another team next year.
Now, what the fuck are you talking
He
about?
just signed that
he
kind-
signed
like
a-
he's either
he-
retiring or he's a Packer. He's not playing
Yeah.
for another team.
and he's retiring as a Packer. Like that is happening.
That was
is
the
not-
point of the contract.
Yeah, he's getting another 3. He's playing another 2 years. You know, you can say whatever this is year, whether it's his receivers, his thumb, his whatever it's going to be. Aaron Rodgers next year is probably going to be pretty good again. Hopefully, after everything.
No.
Well, more time with his receivers. The one thing, this isn't a very weird year for him. Even Chris knows this. Being a Lions fan, you've seen the Packers have a lot of great years. Yes,
Yeah, he's fallen off.
he's fallen off, sure, but
And now he's like, oh, by the way, guys, now that you've seen me play like shit for weeks, I just want you to know my thumb hurts.
yeah, my thumb's broken, and he got taken out of the game. Jordan Love, 6 for 9, 113 yards and a touchdown. But you know,
This is what happens. This is my theory, and I'm pretty
Let's
good
hear it.
with all these. I got good intuition. I feel like, right? So
Give
like,
it to us.
Sure.
One, I think Aaron Rodgers will maybe play a couple more games this year, but not a lot. They'll start Jordan Love these next couple games and really see what they got in him. And then next year, Aaron Rodgers will start the season. About halfway through, he's going to suck dick again. because I just don't think he's got it. I think like he had it. He had great players. He had players he had long tenure with, and they know him and can trust to him. But then he just doesn't do what he does, and Jordan Love gets a start, and then they get that, and he retires after next year. I think after next year.
And I'm with you too. I don't know about what happens. I don't know if he plays or not, but at a certain point of an NFL career, Tom Brady didn't want to play with anybody new. He wanted to bring old people in. How much can you teach an old dog, new tricks, right? You're now teaching Watson. Like it's like for him, like with Christian Watson, like you are teaching a guy that you're not going to probably play with in 2 years. Like, so
when did they draft Jordan Love? What year?
Oh, like
that was the COVID year.
Yeah. So 2 years ago.
No way. He's been in for way longer than that, bro.
I think he's been there almost 3 years.
Yes, he's been there for a long time.
Let's look it up.
I promise you, during COVID, during the draft of 2020, he was taken.
You swear? How much you want to bet?
What do you want to place on it? I know this.
Right.
Jordan Love was he right?
Right.
It's just one of those moments where I remember where I was when it happened.
Like what? Yeah, why?
Not that it's that significant. It was just a weird moment.
He was only drafted in 2020.
So he only played 2 years.
I swear he's been on that team way longer.
They've just done so much damn talking about him because of that situation.
I swear he's been on that team forever.
He's been talked about more than any other backup QB ever, just because of the controversy.
Jimmy G had a lot of talk about him this year.
Yeah, that is true.
And the Baker Mayfield Sam Darnold thing had a lot of time on this year.
Yeah,
very true.
And Carson Wentz had a lot of time.
Okay, I get it. There's been a lot of backup talk this year, but just this year, like beforehand, no backups were being talked about besides Jordan Love, simply because of
Deshaun Watson,
the elephant in the room
this year.
Yeah,
Deshaun Watson's been talked about a lot this year. He's a bad quarterback.
We can go on forever, Alex.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see, and we'll just see what happens with them too.
Even with Aaron Rodgers playing shitty, Jordan Love coming in, the Eagles still almost lose.
Like they probably to play,
but still, like
the defense looked weak this game.
Yeah, they just haven't looked the greatest, and I'm excited to see what happens to them. I hope that for their sake. I hope that they maybe go on a little bit of a drought right now to then in 3 weeks kick it back up.
Well, you know what's really going to piss me off is the Lions play the Packers, I believe the last game of the season. That happens a lot. And I think Justin's right. I don't think Aaron Rodgers finishes out the season. He plays maybe couple more games, and then they kind of just feel like, hey, it's not worth risking you for next year. And so he's not going to play in that game. And I think the Lions have a real chance of shutting them out this year. And now we're going to do that without him. And, all the little Packer bitches are going to be like, well, we didn't have Aaron the second game.
Well, what it would have mattered?
Not this year.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's any other football talk you guys want to talk about?
On that week, I just like the Chargers beating the Cardinals again in the same fashion the Jaguars beat. Yeah, Kyle Murray, man.
So I have not been keeping up with the Cardinals Hard Knocks. Have you guys?
No,
I kind of want to.
I want to watch it.
Watch this next episode just because there's got to be some funny shit.
Wait, did we talk about Mike White?
Turmoil?
Bro, we did.
No,
we
did
talked
not.
About Mike White.
I mean, we made a couple comments,
Mike
but that's
White.
it.
9 yards the week before, and then this week, Mike White goes, "Yo, I'm the bad baller you needed."
Wait a minute. I didn't watch this game.
I didn't.
Where is the Chicago Justin Fields?
He injured himself.
Oh, he was hurt. Yeah, he was hurt.
Chicago Justin Fields. Come on.
He was portraying Jalen Hurts that week.
Yes. But Mike White, 22 for 28, 315, and 3 touchdowns.
Against a shitty defense, but I mean, really, still good performance. Makes me want to keep him in.
Yeah, if I'm a Jets fan, I want him in. I'm done with Zach Wilson this year. I don't necessarily think giving up on him completely is the right way to go.
I do.
You do?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I mean, I'm with you because I've been saying that they shouldn't have drafted him in the first place, but because they drafted him where they drafted him ahead of who they drafted him, if I'm the Jets GM, I wouldn't give up on him just yet because you're kind of admitting that you made a huge mistake.
They better give
now.
up on him.
Do it now more than later. Like, what are you gonna do? You give him another
fucking
chance?
give
No,
up on
fuck
him.
that. He shows us he doesn't want to be this. He shows us he's not capable to handle this position. Do it now.
Well, what's so
rather than
annoying with
later.
him is he didn't seem to really learn much of a lesson from the press conference because he looked like a little bitch on the sideline during that game.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, you're still looking like a pouty little rich kid who finally got told you can't have something.
He needs to learn from Jalen Hurts.
Yes. Jalen Hurts is all class.
Beautiful way to take,
Humble.
hey, you know what? I led a team here. I got pulled in the game for him. That's okay. I'm going to sit here behind him next year, do my thing, go back to the game. He gets hurt. I get to go in. And then you know what? I did my thing. They're going to start to again. I'm going to leave.
Yep.
Crazy.
That was beautiful. Like that was,
Class.
but he handled it
That's
so
one
beautifully.
reason why I don't hate Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
I love Jalen Hurts.
you can't.
I love who he is.
For
But,
like that alone, you just like
when you draft
damn.
him in the third round and you draft Zach Wilson in the first round again,
Number
Dak was a
two?
fourth round pick. Like, you don't need the number one pick, and Mike White isn't a number one pick. And at this point, you just
That's why I'm saying, what if Jimmy G goes to the Jets?
no.
They're ready. They are a win now team. Their
Yeah,
defense looks crazy. Well, so their
but you know
defense
who
is
else could
very
get him and be
young.
better because they
The
have a
Lions?
ton of fucking money. No,
Oh.
not the Lions. Lamar could go to the Jets over in Jimmy G
Oh,
because the New York has the money. Lamar is the person. They have the defense.
not
They
with
have
the
that
eating
young
dick
coach.
content. He can't go there.
There with that.
Can't go there with the eating dick content.
Yeah. He deleted it. It's not there anymore. It's
It's
okay.
got
He
to
made
the
it. He's okay. Yeah.
You can't go to New York with the eating dick comment. Come on.
I think, no, it's also like, I mean, it's a vulgar New York thing, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, hey, it's still Lamar. You're not going to not take Lamar. And if given the opportunity, like, the worst thing that the Baltimore can do is literally franchise tag him.
I was just going to say, I think
That's
he's
my-
going to be a
they're-
Raven
but
next
they're
year
going
because
to.
of the
So
tag.
worried about
He's going
that.
to be a Raven for the next 2 years because of the franchise tag.
I hate that. I think they shouldn't do that. It just hurts.
Unless he wants to pull a LaShawn.
Some part of the franchise tag I understand, and there's another part of me that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Not
Le'Veon.
LaShawn.
Le'Veon.
Le'Veon.
Part of me hates the
LaShawn.
franchise tag because it just forces player in a position that they're uncomfortable in.
Yeah.
And don't want to be there. It's like if
Okay.
I'm a working person, I can quit my job if I'm uncomfortable. If
listen.
I'm not getting work like I'm supposed to or the pay I'm supposed to, I can decide to leave.
Hold
They
on.
can't.
Listen.
True.
Look, I don't know if I'd be complaining that. I understand you're playing for your job, whatever. A team will pick you up, Lamar. You're getting paid $32 million.
I know.
Like it's not like you're not getting.
You're not like you're
Like, you're
not
because they
giving
have
your
to.
value. Like, think about why Le'Veon Bell did it because he wasn't given his value, and he wasted a couple of years just to go out and not be who he was.
Yeah, I kind of
But
bit
they
him a little bit.
fucked him on that, and you know they do. You're
But-
one person that has said that they have fucked him for that.
But this is a difference between a quarterback and a running back. Le'Veon, like those 2 years that he did whatever he did, like that was his prime. He was literally in his prime.
Yeah.
Lamar isn't in his prime yet. He's like approaching it, right? He's like creeping up there. He's getting there, but like you have time to like think about it. So why not use the franchise tag on him? It's there in the league for a reason.
Well, here's the thing. If the Ravens were smart, if it really got to the point where they had to franchise tag him, like the deal isn't getting done this offseason, they have to tag him. They should realize, he's probably not going to be a Raven. Like we'll tag him this year. We got the other tag next year, but then he's walking on us. And with Aaron Rodgers' contract and Russell Wilson's contract and Deshaun Watson's contract and Patrick Mahomes still has a pretty high contract relative to those. The franchise tag money is not cheap. They're going to have to pay him a really large amount. So when you're sitting there do you really want to pay him that large amount next year, just knowing that he ain't staying at this point?
And that's why like you pay him to make him happy too. Cause like, sure, he might be making a little bit more than 32 million, but like maybe he makes 35, but he'll be happy.
Yeah. You know? And I also just think that's a good place for him and his personality.
Yeah, it is. I hope, you know, for Baltimore's sake, they lose him because little trash team.
Alex, I think it's time.
I think it's time
for the game of the week.
The game of the week. Christopher.
I was just gonna say I thought you knew.
Christopher fucking.
Oh wait, no. I should know.
You should know. We are gonna play the most
a good game.
Fun, the most anticipated game.
It's not a good game
of the season. Does Chris Rutledge know the Thursday night game? Chris, you have the floor.
I thought I did. I do not. I'm going to think.
Don't say don't say anything. It's
an NFC matchup. Okay, well then maybe I'm right. Are the Buccaneers in this game? No. Okay, I don't know. But I will say this of something I do know, the schedule that I'm super happy about is the Broncos have one more primetime game this year that just officially got flexed. So that is great news for America. What is the Thursday night game?
Okay, their colors, both sides are red, white, and blue.
Yeah, and
they're NFC?
They both played on
Alex
Thanksgiving.
is trying to trick you.
Oh, duh. Fuck you, Alex. Patriots.
I said, don't listen to him.
Yeah, Patriots and Bills, right?
Yep.
That's going to be a great game.
What? No.
No, I think so. Do Bills have looking shaky lately?
Yeah.
And Bill Belichick is still Bill Belichick. Granted, I don't think Mac Jones and that offense are really going to do much, but I think the defense is going to fare better than the past couple matchups.
So who do you have winning this game?
Oh, still the Bills for sure. But I think it's going to be a much better game than what you'd expect.
I'm also taking the Bills.
Where is it? New England?
New England.
That's a tough place to play.
It is.
Foxborough. December or beginning of December.
Cold. I mean, cold weather is not really a factor for Buffalo, but yeah, that's a tough place.
Yeah.
And I think we should end this. Boys, USA did it. Round of 16, here we come.
Beat Iran 1-0.
It's Iran, but it's fine.
Not only that, but the only
reason I say that is because our Captain Pulisic got like this whole thing from an Iran reporter about how he says their country wrong.
Oh, really? I missed
that.
Dude,
and it was like this. Okay, so I was listening to the reporter was like, you keep saying our country name wrong. It's Iran. It's not Iran, right? And then he goes, how do you play for a country that has such big discrimination that is like this huge, like basically hates black people? That's basically what like he was trying to get at. And in my head, I was like, bro, you come from the Middle East, where if you're in Qatar, if you're wearing a rainbow thing right now, you're getting hate for it.
I think this is a political conversation. We should take
no. I'm not.
But a little bit. I get what you're saying.
But for me, I was just like, why are you saying this to like the captain of the USA team?
Yeah,
trying to make him say something that he doesn't want to say. He handled it beautifully. I will say that. But it was
that's
just
why
it was really
Olympics,
annoying
for the Olympics and like the World Cup and other things where you get people from all over the world competing in the sport. It's so much fun because it's like, one big game that the whole world's playing, but it's also like, oh, but like we're still pieces of shit as people. And so we're going to bring in our personal issues into everything. And so then you almost gotta like, I don't know about you guys. I like to watch sports to escape the realness of the world. And so then like, I don't really enjoy the World Cup much or the Olympic. Like I pay attention, I watch, but like I don't enjoy them like I enjoy other sports simply because you're constantly reminded of like all the bullshit that goes on between the countries.
Yeah.
So
And
that kind of ruins
that was
it.
like that was just like the rough when I saw that. I was like, what the fuck? Like, why are we talking about that when it's like a really cool opportunity for
Yeah.
two teams? Like USA has to win and they're in, right? Like, what a cool opportunity to like go and represent your nation. And then you talk
Definitely
about
doing a lot better than I expected.
Yeah. And then you talk about the stuff. I was like, but it was like cool to see him handle it so gracefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also haven't talked when they tied England, which was basically a win for them as well.
Basically, dude, the
Yeah.
fact that you tied England, and then but like the one shitty one is you lose to Wales. Wales, come on. When you let like
They didn't lose, they tied.
Oh, they draw.
But-
No, they did draw with Wales, but you let
but it was
84th minute.
brutal because they scored so quickly, and then the way that they let Wales score was like
84th minute
on.
penalty kick. Come on.
Yeah, in
What
the
are you doing
box,
here?
you can't
Yeah,
do that.
come on, Zimmerman. But it was. Hey, I'm excited to see USA go and like.
They're not gonna be the same. Their captain just got injured.
Pulisic.
Yeah, he's injured.
He got injured this game.
Yeah,
Damn.
I did
And
see that he was
goal got
taken out of
injured.
the game. Yeah,
Damn, I didn't see that. Damn, that's gonna
Yeah.
suck, man. But hey, it's cool to see. It's cool to see them like actually make it out of their group.
Yeah.
And
For sure.
do something.
a
Do
lot of
something.
people didn't think they would.
USA. USA.
We're
Yeah.
Americans, obviously.
Hey, we're Americans. But yeah, anything else on the potty boys?
No, we're Amibros.
Sorry, we are Amibros.
That's weird, me, bros.
Yeah.
3. I mean, we can always talk about everything, but I think this one's been super, super long, and we'll just wrap it up here. And I think it's been great. It's a good week. A lot of football, a lot of conversation on football, which is just crazy.
Yeah.
But it was just,
But it was a big
weeks.
football heavy week.
Yeah,
Huge week.
A week that we predicted was going to be super easy to predict. Not so
Yeah.
easy.
and I don't even know how we did. So whoever,
I'm gonna assume horrible.
I don't think we did bad.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you didn't just because you never do bad, but really we did
I like that you said that. You quotated it, but it's facts.
Mhm.
All right, well,
other than
sweet
that,
guys.
well,
Hey, Alex, where can you follow us at? Because
you
you're the
can-
one that's so anal about this.
you can actually follow us at 3 Amibros, the number 3 Amibros on all socials. If you want to see beautiful people appear upon your screen, you can type in the 3 Amibros on YouTube and you'll find us as well.
And we're pretty
But-
handsome people.
Yeah.
I would just like to say that you do have to type the and not the, because the only people that say the are some dumb fucks in Ohio.
Fuck
And
Ohio.
we do not say the anything unless we're saying the Ohio State.
Well, I'm going to
Their
stop
ass
you
whipped.
right there because I have family from Ohio. Half of my family's from Ohio, so you shut the fuck up over there, Michigan, and respect my
what's that?
family. Respect
I
my
can't.
homage, my heritage, where we're from. All
Hey,
right.
listen.
And all those
I'm not
Ohio,
even-
hey, anybody who is Ohio that listens to us, don't listen to Chris. He's just sad that he's a fucking Michigan fan, has Detroit and Flint to deal with in his
Well,
state.
first of all,
we
We
go
need
there
people
too.
to listen to us in
Uh-huh.
order to have people from Ohio listen to us.
Yeah, literally, I saw this thing called the Ohio syndrome, where when you visit Ohio, you get in despair about where you're visiting. So, it's a
Wait,
rough
number
place
one thing
be.
to do in Ohio, leave.
Yes.
And with that, I'm out.
Yeah.
See you
Same.
guys.
See you guys.
You're so mean to the Ohio people. You need to take a fucking chill pill, bro.
Oh, man. No.